Hey everybody, Daniel from Spacedock here. So here's an interesting little ship, of which there is basically only one picture, so this is probably going to be a very short video. This is the PTB-625 Planetary Bomber from Star Wars Legends. Like the Arc 170, it's an Incom Sub-Pro collaboration project, and you can see the similarities to the Z95 Headhunter and the 170 itself in the design. Though if you take a closer look at the size of the viewports and the cockpit, you'll realise this thing is actually quite large, presumably having quite a lot of internal space and compartments between these, kind of like the Retaliator bomber from Star Citizen or any of the other rare examples of large-scale strategic bombers in science fiction. This ship is actually an airspeeder rather than a spacecraft, and is deployed presumably by acclimators and various other assault craft to perform bombing sorties against cities and large fortifications. It's propelled by something called ion turbofan thrusters, which seem to be air-breathing ion engines, and we've literally never seen this used in any major Star Wars publication. It's mentioned in the Incredible Cross-Sections book, and on the Star Wars databank and a few other small sources, but we've never seen it in action. Its information states that it has a crew of 5, which seems appropriate for a bomber like this, all of which have a single escape pod attributed to them, probably a kind of coffin-sized single-person ejection unit. The craft costs 130,000 credits to produce. It's got 2 light laser cannons, which seem to be fixed in the same kind of underslung manner as the Arc 170's main guns. It has something called auto blasters, which appear to be a very old design of rapid targeting light particle weapons, and it has a proton bomb bay, much like you'd see on a Y-Wing or any other spacefaring strike bomber. This seems to be a largely unknown ship by the community, so I just wanted to point it out, and it's worth mentioning that its description talks about similarities to the NTB-630, which is a Legends Republic bomber that we never actually got a picture of, despite it being mentioned a heck of a lot throughout various sources. It was the ship that was meant to be the main bomber of the Republic before the Clone Wars multimedia project decided to make that the BTLB Y-Wing. But if there are similarities between the NTB and this PTB-625, we can perhaps infer that the NTB was a smaller version of this, painted in Republic red rather than the blue planetary colours, presumably without the larger interior and gunner bays, etc. It's interesting to see something so specialised, and particularly a repulsor craft, in the Republic's arsenal, and it does bring into question how useful something like this would be when its job can basically be done by an extremely fast spacefaring fighter that can then return to a warship in orbit. It's not very often we see something so specialised that it might not really be all too useful. But if you can think of any ideas in the comments as to when a aircraft repulsor craft like this might be a more appropriate use for a bomber craft than a deployed space bomber, perhaps as a defensive garrison for a low-tech planetary base or something, please do let me know in the comments if you have any interesting ideas. And also, I'd love to know what you think about me pointing out lesser-known ships in very brief videos like this, as that's something I'd love to do more often. Thanks for listening. This is Daniel from Spacedock, signing off. Thank you for watching. Please remember to follow the link below to check out our announcement for our upcoming original sci-fi drama, The Sojourn.